Nvidia is the most influential company in the world right now because it has the most sought out AI chip. But what if I told you that the manufacturing of its AI chips was extremely dependent on three companies? These three companies have recently seen their stock prices go down and have caught my attention. Talking about attention, now that I have yours, check my pinned comment for free stuff and make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe button. Now, I know your time is valuable and the three stocks we are going to discuss are TSMC, ASML, and Lam Research. And I'm sure you heard about them on other channels, but I promise there's going to be a lot of value in this video in a very short amount of time, not only in terms of financials, but more importantly, the why. Why are these companies crucial to Nvidia? So in today's episode, we will do the following. First, understand crucial components of AI chips. Second, how these three companies are essential for Nvidia. And third, my final thoughts on current prices and valuations and where I would buy. So let's get started.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so first, let's take a closer look at AI chip components. Concerning the companies in this video, there are three crucial components in Nvidia's AI chip. First is HBM, also known as high bandwidth memory. It's crucial for handling vast amount of data quickly. It provides the high speed, high capacity memory needed for complex AI models. Now, stacking HBM or HBM stacks, as you see in the image, is exactly as it sounds. It's stacking various HBM on top of each other, which allows for faster data access and lower power consumption, which is essential for training and running large neural networks effectively. So now I also want to kind of showcase this in a real world example so you guys know about HBM. And I think the best place is to look at Nvidia's roadmap. So Nvidia's roadmap, they talk to us about the Hopper platform, the Blackwell platform, and the next generation Rubin platform. And if you look at their GPU, it goes by the GPU name followed by some information about the HBM. So for Hopper GPU, it was 6S HBM3. So that means it had 6 stacks of HBM3. Now, if we look at Blackwell GPU, it has 8S HBM3E. So it has 8 stacks of HBM3E. Now we can see for Rubin GPU, it's expected to have 8S of HBM4, which means 8 stacks of HBM4 memory. So again, I just want to bring this up because I know a lot of us are Nvidia investors here, so I wanted to showcase a real world example. Now back to that original image that we had here. The second important product is probably the most important, but that is going to be the GPU or the AI processor die. This is the heart of an AI chip. It is specifically designed to perform AI computations, featuring numerous specialized cores optimized for parallel processing of AI workloads. These cores are tailored for operations common in machine learning, such as matrix multiplication and convolutions. Third component is the interposer. In advanced AI chips, the interposer plays a vital role in connecting the AI processor die with HBM stacks using TSVs. So now that we know the crucial components of AI chips, I also want to mention one more thing. The process of connecting all these components is called advanced packaging. Now that we know the components and the steps, let's learn about the manufacturers. And this is where the first company comes into play, TSMC, which plays a major role. TSMC right now manufactures the GPU die and also silicon interposers. SK Hynix, Samsung, and Micron are manufacturers of HBM. But recently, TSMC and SK Hynix have partnered up where TSMC will be involved in the HBM stack manufacturing as well. Now, the best part is TSMC is also the one that does advanced packaging. So TSMC is pretty much the whole process for Nvidia chips. Okay, we now know about TSMC, but how do ASML and Lam Research come into the mix? I think we should take a closer look at the manufacturing process. A top-level overview is that TSMC uses equipment made by ASML and Lam Research to manufacture the chips. Without ASML or Lam Research, then TSMC would not have the tools to manufacture Nvidia chips. A more in-depth overview shows many steps in the chip manufacturing step. ASML is in purple, and we can see that it has a monopoly on a step called lithography, which is why ASML is extremely important. Lithography is very important for logic chip manufacturing, which is pretty much what the GPU AI die is. Lithography is also the key to making smaller and smaller chips, as we hear AI chips going from 5 nanometer to 3 nanometers to 2 nanometer, smaller and smaller. It's only possible thanks to ASML's machine. Now, Lam Research, while it's not a monopoly, does hold strong market share in etching and deposition. Etching and deposition are important for logic chips like the AI chip die, but can you guess where they are more important in? Yep, they are more important in the memory market. Therefore, you have growth opportunities with AI chips in all front. Just a reminder, TSMC is the manufacturing king. ASML, the monopoly king, maker of kind of this AI chip die, and Lam Research can grow thanks to the demand for HBM stacks. Some of you might be curious why AI die and HBM stacks have kind of different needs, and I kind of mentioned it earlier on where logic devices prioritize getting smaller and smaller, and that's a step that you really need lithography to be able to do it, opposed to stacking layers. And at the beginning of this episode, I mentioned how memory devices is really kind of more about adding layers and stacking them over each other, and that's something that you need more deposition and etching steps for. Now that we understand some important components of AI chips, and we understand how these three companies are crucial and essential to Nvidia's AI chips, I want to take a closer look at valuations and my thoughts on when I wouldn't mind buying. So here I'm looking at forward 1-year PE ratios, which is next fiscal year, so roughly a year and a half from now if they follow the calendar year. TSMC is 20.51, ASML is 24.41, and Lam Research is 16.29. In my order of purchasing, I think it's actually cheapest to highest at current levels. Lam Research being number one, it's currently down 33% from its year-to-date high, and my buy points would be in the mid 700s to low 800s, a price it's at right now. Now, ASML would be my second choice, and it's currently down around 27% from its year-to-date high. My buy points would be very similar to Lam Research and mid 700s to 800s. I believe right now it's in the low 800s. TSMC would actually be last on the list, and it's only down roughly 10% from year-to-date high. But to be honest, in the current market, I would rather buy an ETF than TSMC. I think TSM right now is not giving too much of an opportunity at the moment, so I would rather invest in an ETF. But if TSMC gives us a nice correction, it can definitely move higher in the list. So I hope you enjoyed the video and learned a lot. If you haven't, make sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. So take care, have a good day, and see you next time.